the incrementally heavier, you take away your offense. And you can be just as heavy here, or heavy enough in this position, but I'm in a position to be offensive with my knees in. So one knee on his hip, my hand under his head, my other hand with the underhook, the pummel with my gable grip, and my knee ideally should be right on or outside my top elbow. Okay? And I'm down. This is my starting position here. Look, I don't squeeze, but I definitely pull in a little. I pull him in to me. Now, first things first, a lot of schools teach, we teach it, I don't use it as often, but a lot of guys don't like to let the bottom guy have his elbow in, right? His elbow against his ribs so he can get on his side. So what they're going to do is they're going to reach, cup the tricep, they're going to lift, switch your base. As they lift, they're switching again, and now look, when I get under the head, his arm is trapped on my thigh here. He can't get on his side. So it makes it harder for him to face me and start to replace. The other thing is that I always want a little shoulder pressure. I don't want him to be able to turn his hips into me. And if I'm making his face look away, it's hard for his head to look one way while his hips look the other. He's contorting like this. He's twisting his body. It's not good for him. So a little shoulder pressure, as much as you can get, but don't go overboard where you're off balance and just to try to push his face away. So now, this is my starting position, okay? Step one to go to mount, I'm going to cup the back of his armpit. I'm going to start to walk his arm out of the way, cross. Now I'm going to go make shin across, but look, I think one detail I forgot to mention the last few days is when I go to mount, I'm going to dive my knee down, swing over, but ideally I want to bring my knee up towards his armpit. If I'm here and my knee is kind of the pivot point and I swing down, I may get caught here, even if I'm fast and sneaky. But when I move my knee up towards the armpit, leave my foot on the hip, it's less likely he's going to catch me. But as soon as you're here, you're right back down, sliding in and out, okay? So let's go ahead. Let's do smoke down out shot. The first way to mount. And then here, I can try to crawl his arm out of the way, but maybe he's stronger than me, I can't do it. So instead, I'm going to circle my arm around his head. I'm going to pinch his head between my knee and my elbow. I'm also blocking this hip between my elbow and my knee as well, okay? So now, the hand that's closest to the head is going to loop towards his armpit, right here inside the elbow. And I'm going to dive my arm through and back my elbow up into his armpit, control his belt. At the same time, I've kind of blocked his far side, but he can turn into me and replace his knee. So I'm going to bring this arm back and just put it on the mat, but slide your hand under his knees until your bicep and your shoulder make contact with his hips, okay? And now when he tries to turn his hips into you, you can block it, right? I can block it, him from turning into me. So now I'm going to switch my base towards his legs, but I'm going to shift my body down. I need to get under the near side elbow here. So when I switch my base, I'm getting under his elbow with my back knee up, okay? My back knee up is to keep me, allowing me to continue to keep pressure on him so he can't bridge me over onto my side. Now I'm backing up, creating the space I need. And his arms are tied up. All he sees is my back. He doesn't see any of this. So I need to give myself space to work my head down. I'm grabbing my foot, pulling it in towards my face, not over in an arch. I know it's tough for some of you. Pull it in, guide it through. Once you're here, grab his knee, pull yourself up into mount, okay? Yeah, good with this? All right, you need to block the hip. Keep your hand down. Keeping your hand down, this reach, keep your hand down, also forces you to keep your head down. Because if your hand's not blocking, a lot of times you have a tendency to do this. And then you're closer to his arm, and he's going to bridge on you like this. Okay? So blocking the hip is forcing you down. Now he's keeping his knees tight, so it's a struggle to really get through there. So instead, he can't see I'm going to go under my own leg, grab, pull through. Now it's easier to step over and go to mount. Okay? Play around that a couple times, and we'll come back and look at when they're. So in the first version here, he's just keeping his knee tight, right? This knee is just, So two things. I'm going to cup, and when I feel that here, I'm going to reach back and get between his legs. Okay? Just get in between his legs. And now all I'm going to do is reach forward and drive my hands to the mat here. And keep your hands on the mat. Okay? And I want to be in back of his head. So I'm kind of almost like I got a cradle here. And now if I get him turned this much, I'm going to pop up to knee on belly. Here. This leg has to be straight because all my weight's through my shin. Two things. I can start to slide down as he turns into me, he's giving me the pathway to mount. It's really easy as he's flattening out. Or, go ahead and jump on your side. If he stays on his side and keeps his hands tight, like he doesn't want to make a commitment, to keep your hands tight, like I'm going to drop, block with my chest, look to go underneath, gift wrap him, both hands on the wrist, my back foot to his back, step over with this hook first to keep him locked in. Now when I roll him over and drag him to the other side, this leg pops out, boom, I'm on his back. Okay, I'm not really concerned with that. It's not a back-taking class, but it's an entry into taking the back, okay? So that's one, that I reach back and do this. And I do this a lot, and I just keep these guys here, but the one I prefer is here. Look, I'm going to switch my base towards his hips. I'm taking where my left knee is usually by my elbow and his ear. I'm going to switch my base and take my left knee by his hip. Right, I'm going to touch his hip with my knee to change the angle. And now my right knee is going to shoot through this triangle here. Boom. And now I'm in smash. So I want to get the underhook on his back, stay tight, push his knee to the mat, kill his hips. And now I'm working to get both underhooks. Look, I don't want to go from side control, do all this, and go back to side control. It's not, if I'm going to go through all this work, I want to get to mount. But if it's not there, it's not there. So don't try to force it. But ideally, I'm trying to get here. Crawl him flat, and boom, right in the mount. Okay? So again, here, switch my base, driving my knee to the triangle. We're integrating smash now, okay? This is the second option. So when I'm here and he's keeping his knees tight, what I still have this with my arm. The thing I don't have, because I'm so much lower on his body, is the knee through. Because the minute I go here, I'm just further down, my way further down. He's going to hip escape and escape his hips, and now it becomes a scramble. So I'm too low on his body to drive my knee through, okay? To go through here, because now he just hip escapes. I'm on his hips, and all he needs to do is do a little hip escape to get his hips from underneath. So instead, use this one where he can. Because as I flatten him out, I'm moving this arm back around the head. Okay? So that's the other thing I'm going to say. That one's different. You know, the second option, you can try it, but you're going to see what guys know what they're doing. As soon as you switch your hips, you turn your back toward them. When you're that far down, they're going to hip escape and try to take you back. They may not get it. They're probably not going to get it, but they're going to try. What else was you know, all the little stuff I showed after the two ways to mount is when the ways to mount break down. So really, all we're concerned about it, if it's too much, it's just the two ways to mount. Just work on that, work on that, work on that, and then you can always add the other stuff after when they're more defensive. But if you can recall it all, then try to remember it. So let's go ahead and just start getting into it, some up, down, out. Grab a drink if you need it. We get into some up, down, out. Look, a lot of times, if a guy is really rambunctious on bottom, like when I'm doing this, I'm going to let him catch me in half guard. The minute he catches you in half guard, underhook already, you're just redirecting this knee and knee slice. Right back into side control, mount, letting them catch me again. Boom, right in the knee slice, and just demoralizing. And again, in a few times of that, and they're smothered, they're going to give you whatever they want. They're going to want you to tap them. So I'll let him re-guard, and then I'll just heavy pass him again. Do the same thing, just wearing him out, wearing him out, wearing him out, okay? All right, let's keep belly, look, sometimes this arm is here, this arm. If that's the case, my knee on belly leg, I'm going to swing the foot closer to his armpit, and I'm holding his tricep as I fall and I pass the leg. And now my knees are tight. If it's in my armpit, I can just finish right here, or I can slide off and finish. Okay? So that's it. If you get to knee on belly and their arm is in your armpit and it seems extended to like this, you can hit that arm bar as you fall back. Okay? We're good on time.